Hey, how's it going? So I want to just touch on this 559 fault I had this week. Try and keep it short, not bore with all the main details. Long story short, 559 is when the ECM detects a pressure drop of, I believe, 3625 psi from commanded to measured, and I'll throw the fault. What our issue was when the truck was going into a regen, which it was when he first started, because he was asking for a regen. After about 10 minutes, it would just drop all rail pressure. So we did some tests. Originally we found some gel fuel in a pressure relief valve that was failed, so we replaced them, and still the same issue. And I knew the pressure relief wasn't leaking again because I had the thermal imager on. There's no heat build up. You'll see that it actually builds up heat. Another way you can check is if it's got paint on there. If it's a new one, if it's an older one, the paint will actually come off if it's leaking so bad because of the heat. After doing low pressure checks, make sure you always use the 43 thou orifice tube. I actually lost mine, so I made a new fit and just drill a hole in there, 43 thou, and it works. But it helps create a load on the engine during your low pressure tests, is simulate a loaded engine. So after that we do the high pressure test. It was leaking off in the rail, nothing crazy. It would still hold pressure around 6000 psi, then slowly drop off throughout the day. So we knew we had an issue somewhere. The return flow on the head, the fuel pump head, was a little high, but still in spec, same with the injectors. So all the tests were passing. Everything came out in spec. Nothing was below spec, above spec, everything was perfect. Restriction in the filter was good. And we did also bypass all the lift pump and everything, went straight into the gear pump with fuel, and it was good. Sorry, not good, it was still shut off. It would we eliminated the truck side issue. After we do that, we check the return flows again, and same issues. So what we did then was a return flow on the injectors when we ran a regen, and we could see clearly that the flow increased a lot. And we did the same with the fuel pump head. It didn't increase, it stayed steady throughout the entire process. We replaced the injectors, and now it is perfect. So the fault troubleshooting on Cummins has no indication of pushing you towards this route. It's just something you kind of think outside the box on. I did speak to multiple people who I trust in the industry, local to me, and a couple of us all came to the same agreement to do that test. I ran it by them to see what they would think. And yeah, don't be afraid to reach out and help. Don't think you know everything. Sometimes it's better to bounce something off a guy who's fresh into the fault you have. He'll give you a better perspective on what he thinks. You know, sometimes you need that new perspective. You've been looking at it all day and it just drives you insane trying to figure it out. So sometimes a fresh set of eyes on the job will help. And yeah, we got it figured out, we got it fixed, and this customer is driving down to Barrett Jackson as we speak, and we've got him there hopefully on time. We were pushing it. It had to be done by Saturday morning, and we got it done a Friday night around 9 PM. So we got him going, and yeah. So keep an eye out for that one. I will post the videos of the fuel, of what actually happened. I did get a video of when it was returning too much. So yeah, 559 can be a very easy fault to troubleshoot, and it can also be very time consuming, especially if you don't have all the fittings, which I do recommend just getting all the fittings if you can. It can get expensive, especially at 43 thou orifice. That's up to like, my cost was like 500 bucks from Cummins, so I just made one. I probably will get the tool anyway, but I did just make one fitting. Drew a 46 thou hole because I didn't have a 43. It's not going to make a huge amount of difference. So we got him going. That's the main thing. And the injectors was a fault, but again, all the tests passed. So even the injector performance test, everything like that will pass. So you've got to sometimes think outside the box, even when you do have a troubleshooting in front of you. So thanks, guys. Have a good one. So this is the injector return flow during the regen. This is right at the start when we first hooked up. You can see there we're in the return manifold for the injector return flow. And you can see here the fuel pressures are very close to each other, well within spec. This is where we start getting our issue. It starts dropping the rail pressure here. And as you can see, the return flow is a lot more. The flow is really, really high. And you can see now the pressure is dropping off, and then it'll slowly cut the regen out and shut the truck off. Now this is where, when we did the injector return flow test, everything passes, and we're doing a lot higher pressures. So right now the truck just shuts off. This is after the injector replacement. As you can see, the flow has reduced dramatically. We held great rail pressure after the truck was shut off as well. So this is a job done. Thanks guys.